Many jobs can really be underappreciated, from janitors, butlers, and maintenance workers. The phrase, "it's a dirty job, but somebody's gotta do it," certainly rings true. In fiction, these characters can sometimes turn out to be very important, or even stronger than they look.
People underestimate the benefit of good old manual labor. It's freedom. Some of the happiest people in the world go home smelling to high heaven at the end of the day.
In the world of the Transformers, the Autobots rely on their chief medical officer, Ratchet, when their ranks become wounded.
No more back talk, or I'll short your mouth circuit. Why, you... Old Ironhide's gonna pull through nicely.
However, to keep them going on a regular basis, the Autobots report for tune-ups on schedule by their friendly but often overlooked maintenance engineer, Hoist.
There. That ought to do it. That's a zillion! And away we go!
I'd like to thank my patrons and my channel members for your continued support. Consider becoming one, or purchase some merch. Links are in the description below. Originally released in the Diaclone toy line, the car robot Hilux Wrecker type transformed into a Toyota N30 Hilux pickup tow truck. A retool of the standard pickup truck, the figure was released in red, with a blue variant sold in a 2-pack with the Honda City R. Hasbro imported these figures to be part of the Transformers toy line. While the first version was released in 1984 as the Autobot Trailbreaker, the tow truck was recolored into a green and orange deco, and was released in 1985 as the Autobot Hoist. In his bio as written by Bob Budiansky, Hoist is the Autobot's dedicated maintenance bot that believes his fellow Autobots need to be operating at peak efficiency, especially in battle. As such, all must submit to his maintenance schedule. Genuinely enjoying his job in a jovial manner, Hoist can use his high-tech sensors to find any issues his fellow Autobots may have, and his tow truck mode can haul any of the injured away from battle. Although his job for the most part can keep him away from the battlefield, Hoist can fire heat-seeking missiles from his wrists, and his scanners make him an excellent scout. First appearing in the cartoon episode Dinobot Island Part 1, Hoist was among the many second season characters introduced without explanation into the Autobot ranks. The details for that I've covered previously. In addition, whereas Trailbreaker's animation model took a few liberties with his design, Hoist was drawn to closely resemble his toy. Voiced by Michael Chain, Hoist happily used his winch to pull any humans or Autobots out of a jam.
Okay, Mr. Four-Wheel Drive, this won't hurt a bit.
He also regularly helped repair his team, especially when Ratchet and Wheeljack were overwhelmed. His friendly nature played well with his good buddy Grapple.
Say no more, Prime. Let's go, Grapple. The action will do us a world of good.
This unfortunately led to the two being tricked by the Constructicons into building a solar tower.
Hoist, we're done. Hey, what? And we're done with you, Autobot fools!
Fortunately, their fellow Autobots came to their rescue, and Hoist reassured his friend that there would be other buildings to make.
There'll be other towers to design and build, Grapple.
It was magnificent for a little while.
While chasing down a group of Decepticons into a cave in the episode A Decepticon Raider in King Arthur's Court, Hoist, Warpath, and Spike found themselves transported back to the year 543 AD. Using his mechanical skills, Hoist fashioned a suit of armor for Spike to participate in a jousting tournament.
Some champion, alas.
At least I hung on to my horse.
Although low on energy, Hoist and Warpath helped Sir Atheling the Red and his knights storm Sir Wigan of Blackthorn's castle in order to stop the Decepticons. With the conflict resolved, the wizard Bayor sent the Transformers back to the present. Hoist finally had his chance to make it big in the episode Hoist Goes Hollywood. After Hoist rescued an actor on a movie set, the director decided to add the Autobot to his film.
Just a moment. I accept your job offer.
This drew the attention to some of his fellow Autobots, who all wanted to be part of the action.
Oh, everyone wants to get into the act.
The director, like many in Hollywood, in making the humans the stars,
Yeah, he gets kissed. What do I get?
having the Autobots play evil aliens,
He is no match for the alien robots.
and making things blow up.
Genius.
He couldn't even get poor Hoist's name right.
Oh, Moist. Look, we won't need you for a bit. Go have a bagel and coffee. We'll call you.
Bagel?
Thanks to a little acting and ingenuity,
Maybe you'd like to follow them, Megatron.
Hoist managed to foil a plot of the Decepticons to acquire an old device from Wheeljack's lab. While the director appreciated Hoist's acting, the Autobot tow truck decided that his duty to the Autobot cause was more important than glitz and glamour.
Well, thanks, but no thanks. My duty as an Autobot comes first, no matter how unglamorous a role it may seem.
Although Hoist continued helping patch up his fellow Autobots throughout Season 2, his popularity was overshadowed by many other characters. Not that he minded all that much. As such, Hoist was subsequently absent from the movie and Season 3.
Don't forget about me.
Hey,
In the Marvel Comics, 5 Autobots agreed to have their personalities and memories stored onto crystals kept aboard the Ark before the Autobots came to Earth. When Optimus Prime needed more warriors, new bodies were constructed for Smokescreen, Skids, Trax, Hoist, and Grapple, whom were activated by Wheeljack using the crystals. Bumblebee then took the time to teach the new Autobots how to adjust to life on Earth. While checking out a concert by Brick's Springstern, the Decepticons attacked. Fortunately, Hoist was able to keep the concert going as he made repairs to the stage while the rest of the Autobots dealt with the Decepticons. Despite being present to help the Autobots save Christmas in a small town and a few brief appearances in the UK exclusive stories, Hoist was quickly promoted to background character status before he was one of the many victims killed by an underbase powered Starscream. Hoist's G1 toy was discontinued in 1986, and while he was absent from the Generation 2 comics, a new figure of Hoist was planned for G2, but was instead released in the Machine Wars toy line in 1997. While his colors seemed to resemble Trailbreaker, the figure was redecoed into a Hoist-like color scheme as the Autobot Wrecker Hook for Takara's Car Robots toy line and anime. Hasbro imported this figure for Robots in Disguise in 2001 and renamed the character Towline. The details for that character will be a discussion for another day.
Sorry, little man. No parking means no parking.
In 2003, a completely different version of Hoist was introduced in Transformers Armada. Transforming into an excavator and packaged with his Minicon partner, Refute, this version of Hoist didn't even have a hook or a winch to hoist with, as his name was simply used to keep up the name trademark. A more fitting place for his name might have been the Crane Autobot, whom was ill-fittingly named Smokescreen. In Japan, however, where Smokescreen was named Grap, this figure was actually Grap's upgraded super form. As seen in the anime, Smokescreen was blasted by Megatron using the powerful Requiem blaster. To save his life, Red Alert removed Smokescreen's spark and rebuilt the fallen Autobot.
It is! It's Smokescreen! Hey, how you doing, little buddy?
Rolling into action, Smokescreen didn't go by his new name until episodes later, as the Autobots began the request to return to Cybertron.
Hoist, how does your new name fit your new reformatting?
It fits just fine, Commander.
However, once Unicron was defeated, Hoist, like his G1 counterpart, was absent for the rest of the Unicron trilogy.
Well, it looks like we're caught between a rock and a hard place, men.
To help flesh out the toy line for the live-action movies, Hasbro designed transforming figures based on the vehicles seen in the films. One of which was Longarm, who transformed into the tow truck used to carry Bumblebee in the final battle of the first film. The figure was recolored into a new version of Hoist that was sold in a 2-pack with a G1 colored Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster. However, outside of a brief UK appearance and a blink and you'll miss it scene in the PSP movie video game, this version of Hoist remained in obscurity. Even more obscure was an anti-Decepticon propaganda clip in Transformers Animated. As revealed in the Allspark Almanac, the evil Decepticon seen in the film was actually Hoist in an acting role in a throwback to his brief stint in show business back in G1. While these new versions of Hoist were relatively minor, Hoist's G1 self brought the same level of obscurity, making only a few appearances in the comics. In the Dreamwave comics, Hoist was one of the many Autobots who rose up to free Cybertron from Shockwave's tyranny. Once the battles were over, he helped repair Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime. He then later accompanied Grapple to Earth as they began construction of Autobot City. In the IDW comics, Hoist came to Earth sometime after the Battle of New York, but soon slipped right into the background. Even after joining the Lost Light crew as the ship's maintenance engineer, Hoist was simply overlooked as his personality wasn't defined by, as he put it, a psychological disorder. His fear of being isolated and alone came to the forefront in a Spotlight issue, as he and a group of Autobots were stranded on a planet during an away mission. As it turned out, the planet was protected by a phobia shield, which made Cybertronians' worst fears come to life. While awaiting rescue, Hoist showed that while he wasn't chatty or handsome, he was more than a green bot with a tow line, as he saved his own teammates from their worst fears while confronting his own. Upon his rescue, Hoist slipped back into the background once again as he shared quarters with Trailbreaker. While Hoist may not have been the most popular among his fellow Autobots, he has received a few new figures in addition to reissuing his G1 toy. This included a retool of Trailbreaker for the Thrilling 30 toy line in 2013. That same year, as part of a BotCon exclusive timeline set, Hoist was released as a redeco of Generations Cup with a new head that called back to his Machine Wars figure. Bringing things back to Diaclone, Hoist's Thrilling 30 figure was also released as a BotCon exclusive in 2015 as the salvage and repair mech named Lift Ticket, who teamed up with a human Diaclone engineer named Klein. During the 2010s, a new version of Hoist saw a few figures made for the preschool targeted Rescue Bots toy line. He would eventually show up as a new recruit in 2018's Rescue Bots Academy. Voiced by Alan Trinka, Hoist had a lot to learn to build confidence in himself.
I'm sorry, Professor Boulder. I didn't think anybody would tell you about this.
However, he eventually overcame his fears as he put his engineering skills to work, helping his team with new gadgets to use on rescue missions.
It helps to have teammates who believe in you. Thanks, everyone.
In 2020, a new figure of Hoist's G1 self was released for the War for Cybertron trilogy's Earthrise toy line. While he was absent from the Netflix animated series, Hoist was present in IDW's rebooted continuity. Thanks to his efforts, the Autobots managed to leave Cybertron behind until they could liberate their world from the tyranny of the Decepticons. In 2022, Hoist's Earthrise figure was also redecoed as Lift Ticket as a Generation Selects exclusive. Retooling Trailbreaker's Masterpiece figure, Hoist finally received the Masterpiece treatment in 2024 and came packaged with a number of accessories seen in the cartoon. Although Hoist may not be the most exciting of Transformers characters, this jovial maintenance bot is certainly essential to his fellow Autobots. While he may keep himself busy with his buddy Grapple's building projects, Hoist is happy to oblige in whatever is needed.
Pour some coolant in it, Huffer. I'll take care of this mess.
Whether it is rescuing the Autobots in peril, keeping their circuits functioning properly, or even firing on Decepticons, Hoist doesn't mind his work going unnoticed.
This time I'm ready for you.
Especially to the zany antics of show business.
Well, my career was enjoyable while it lasted. All 10 seconds of it.
But what do you think? Does Hoist deserve a bigger break in the spotlight? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. I have many more Transformers videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned. And as always, until next time, till all are one.
There's no such thing as flesh-eating lava. This is the movies. Amazing what you can do with a vat of muddy water, some air hoses, and a little smoke machine, isn't it?